Welcome back to Showdown. I am your host, Platinum Chanel Boy, or some of you guys may know me as Jeff. I got my
Yeah,
co-host here, Eric. What's up, bro?
yo, it's your boy Eric Clapton in the building,
Eric
living
Clapton.
good,
Eric
Li-
Clapton. Oh
living
man,
living it up, man. Just same old per
same old
usual.
man. Back on anime.
Yes, to the
we
to
got
the highest stature, man.
yeah, we got Attack on Titan coming back too, man. Me and Mills were talking about that the other day.
Oh
On
man,
the latest episode of Lookout.
I need to
You gotta catch
recap on
up.
that.
I'm
Oh my
catching up
god.
right now. I'm catching up right now because you know me. You know how I felt about Attack on Titan early on. Like I couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
no,
So
I was on the same boat a little, but
yeah,
I just got to rewatch that third season, and
yeah,
then
it's
it'll be
cool. It's
real
all good.
good.
We're getting back on it. But yeah, this is Showdown episode 5. I'm excited to talk about this. This is we've had like uh I mean it's like more inside jokes than anything about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Many,
Because
many of
you and
these.
I actually played as kids,
Yes,
and
we have.
obviously Scott was a big part of this as well. I probably could have had him on this episode, but he'll
Yeah,
probably hate me for not doing it. Also, I wanted to get
yeah, it's
Cyrus on
true.
this episode as well. Shout out Cyrus. But
Yeah, shout out.
me and Millsy had Cyrus on a Yu-Gi-Oh episode on the Lookout, and
Hmm.
I want to get Cyrus a break. I want to talk something more serious with him when I get the opportunity. So that's the reason why Cyrus isn't on here. But yeah, no, we played Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, you and
Yes,
I.
we have.
I think
Yes,
we probably built a deck like 3 years ago, actually, like not
I
even that
built.
long ago.
I built two, and I still have them, and they're right next to me right
Yeah,
now,
yeah. So
and they're both. But and both of them are key characters in this episode.
yeah, yeah. We spent real money back then. We was really going hard,
Oh,
but
hardcore.
hardcore. So, but yeah, no, this is Yugi versus Marik Battle City
Yeah,
Final, and it is shenanigans.
to the highest
Uh,
stature.
yeah, it's shenanigans to really to say the least. Like, I mean, if you played Yu-Gi-Oh in real life, you're gonna see some things in this quote unquote. Like, this is a fight. It is a showdown. It's a fight to some extent, but it is
Yeah.
definitely a showdown because Merrick is a very interesting character. He's
Yo, venomous.
evil.
Yes, it's venomous to the.
He's
There's so much hatred in this man.
Yeah, he is something else. He's something else. So and then obviously you guys all know Yami Yugi. Uh the strong poised voice.
Yo,
Uh
my man's fit. I wish I had that fit. I wish I had the confidence to have that level of swag of fit, wear his fit with that chain,
yeah, the
and
fit is hard.
oh
Yugi's fit is hard. Kaiba's fit is hard.
yes.
Joey's kind of Joey ain't got no drip at
Nah,
all.
nah, he got no the drip. The drip was never. Yo,
Yeah, he's got no
it
drip.
no, 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 no. He represents the fullest of America that we know.
That is true. That is true. Joey is, if anybody is American on this show, it's Joey. Um, but yeah, no. Before we actually get into this showdown, Merrick versus Yugi, I want to let you guys know RNC Radio put out their end of the year playlist. Also a dope ramen talk with some of the boys. I wish I could have been on that, but I was actually at work, unfortunately. But yeah, we have a dope end of the year playlist for RNC Radio and the
Yeah.
R&B and RNC. They're really awesome.
Oh,
We all put our minds together and put some dope music that we all love this year. Um, like I said, I didn't get to talk too much about it because I wasn't on the actual ramen talk, but yeah, man,
I
it
gotta
was
be honest. I heard it. It
was
was
really
it was
fun.
good. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
it was really
Really
fun,
good.
man. We're all characters, so to get all them in like that in one room and talk about the end of the year music is really fun. So also, man, shout out to Big Eyes. We had them on last
Yeah.
week. Had them on last week
Yes, we
in
did.
in a very like hilarious, fun episode.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
That,
talking
that that
about
was that was too much fun.
Don Crollo and Hisuka. Um,
Crollo gang over there, and
yeah, we had a great time with those guys, and and they just hit their 50th episode on the Big Ice podcast, and I'm so proud of those guys and what they've done to help the brand, and everything that we've kind of put together here, and it's just been really really fun. So yeah, shout out that, and me and Millsy, we finally reached the end of Frieza versus Goku, legendary fight, classic.
Yeah, congrats on that too. That's one of that. That was the season I couldn't wait to hear. To be honest.
Yeah. It wasn't as taxing as both of us had anticipated. We had a good time watching it as an adult. We got through it. We're actually going to be talking about Resurrection F to really finish it off. So that'll be fun. But yeah, man. Shout out Sick Pencil. He's an amazing artist from Compton.
Oh my God, those are them pieces are amazing.
He's really dope with it, man. I mean, he's a really really good artist. So definitely look out for him. But yeah, man, we had some. It's been a nice week. And we're coming in to cap it off for you guys. Yugi versus this evil the Shadow Realm ruler,
man. Marik. Fucking Perky Merc, man.
Bro. So Marik is 1,000% off of Perk. Let's dive into this, right? Let's dive into this, Erik. So Erik and I have been trying to figure out how to go over a 5-parter Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel that is extremely detailed because there's so many things that happen, and it's so really
epic, man.
Like
it's super epic, man.
It is, but it's like they could have simplified this to make this easier on the viewer, because now looking back on it, there's no way I understood what the fuck was going on when I was a child.
It didn't matter to
the things that Yugi and Marik are even like. I mean, they're breaking rules.
All the rules.
It is a shadow game, so it's already shenanigans. There's real pain involved. Okay, so there's a lot of things. Marik's off a Percocet. Yugi is extremely. Yugi is like basically what Erik and I, trying to figure out. Hey man, how can we really like go over this showdown, go over this duel, and we kind of decided that we would live watch the 5th episode. It's a 5-parter. A lot of the things that lead up to this point is shenanigans, monster reborns, slimes, monster reborns, a fake obelisk, Raw going into his mini forms.
Yugi getting clapped for 3,000 points in the chest by an eyeball, my nigga.
Yeah, like just a lot of like shenanigans and things of that nature. And the real fun is, that last episode, because it's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Does a lot of things where I don't think they meant it to be funny, but it is. But there is something we're gonna skip over some of these early moments, but there's something in the beginning that I just have to touch on, and that is the shuffle. Yes. Now we don't get to see the shuffle often in Yu-Gi-Oh! We in real life it happens. You shuffle, the person you're facing, the person you're dueling's deck, and give it back to them, and blah blah. Well, they did that here at this Battle City final, and
that's how I knew that this was gonna be something like because they never show that ever.
They really show it. And this man Marik, as he was shuffling Yugi's deck, he was like, he says, shuffle well, Pharaoh. You better hope that Winged Dragon of Raw's on the bottom. I'm like. And it's veins popping out his head, off of Perk. Like Marik is really on a different level of like insanity. Like we watch Dragon Ball, and we've seen some crazy antagonists, you know what I'm saying? But Marik is a weirdo, tongue out, veins popping out his head. Like his
third eye was burning through his skin. Like that's how insane this man was.
Real Millennium hours, real white Egyptian hours.
White Egyptian.
Yeah, we spoke about Yu-Gi-Oh! On Lookout with Cyrus, as I mentioned earlier, and it's so crazy because we talked about like, yo, they definitely misrepresent. I mean, they gave the Egyptians on the show a little bit of color, but they definitely misrepresented what Egyptians like. It was basically just like a culture thing in pyramids, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah, basically
millennium items and all this. But regardless, Yu-Gi-Oh is a classic, and it meant a lot to our childhood for sure. So
for
we're
sure.
gonna live watch episode 5 and talk it out between you guys because Eric and I are absolutely ridiculous with stuff like this.
Yes,
We actually watch things together anime wise like a good bit. So
we
yeah,
do.
that's how we're gonna do this showdown. It's gonna be amazing. We wanted you guys to hear it and surprise you guys with this. So
Yeah.
we're gonna lock in on this, right?
Yes, indeed.
So at this point in time, we're getting near the end of the duel. Eric and I, trust me, you did not want to hear us discuss the things that have gone on at this point, leading to the point where we get to this final episode, which is the final face off part 5. I believe it's episode 45 of season 3. Although Yu-Gi-Oh
Yes.
seasons are fucking weird, but
Yeah, they are.
season one's like season 1 is shenanigans. But like at this point, Raw is back on the field. Like, I mean, this is like the third, fourth time he's been back on the field. And I think Odeon is just waking up.
Yes, he is.
Odeon's just waking up, and he's returning to the field. And Marik is really not having it at all. Like,
Raw and him have fused now. Like what?
so Raw and Marik have fused because I guess when you give Raw some of your life points, you give him some of your body as well. So this has never happened to me in real life using Raw, and I have a Raw, but
Yeah,
whatever.
same here. Okay, rules are out the fucking
So,
window.
yeah. Marik is literally like Marik is like attached to Raw's head like a Megazord right now. So it's hilarious. Yeah. Also, dude, the Marik, his whole like demeanor in this situation when Odeon gets there, he's truly disgusted that Odeon's limp body is walking into like the ring. You can barely stand up. How sad. He was like, if you can stand up a little bit longer, you'll get to witness me win. And Odeon's like drooling and limping.
I hear it was almost catatonic. Just trying to keep himself together.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like Yu-Gi-Oh does use a lot of outside forces to like move forward with their content. Like it's definitely one of those shows where like the emotions come over the people who are watching the duel and like have an effect on the duelists themselves. Like,
Yeah, everything around them like everything in this match will affect everybody around them. Like
yeah, for sure.
Like even though the watchers, like the attendees are watching, their lives are on the line too. Like,
bro. Literally, Yami Marik hits this man Odeon with the Millennium Item. Like he just throws him against the wall. He just got out of bed. He's basically almost dead. Like, and Marik is going absolutely bonkers. Like, I think Yugi's got Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician on his side right now too.
Yeah, the old faithfuls,
Old faithfuls, of course. You know what I'm saying? The craziest thing about it is like all of a sudden, Odeon's like, okay, like he's fine. He got hit against the wall, and his voice alone helps Marik takes Yami Marik's body back, which is like, I don't know, man. Like I told you, it gets like this. So many shenanigans. So many shenanigans.
By the power, I feel like it was the power of love that brought him back to power of love that brought him back to to the real world. He was just like, man, I love you, bro. I'm gonna come back. All it took was this man's voice to give him the strength to come back completely
Look,
healed. Like
look,
what?
Merrick, the good Merrick comes back. He's like, Yugi, if you can hear me, attack right now. No,
But
Merrick, I will not send you to the Shadow Realm. It's like, dog, like, just duel, bro. There's
this
so
fight,
many. There's so many things on the line, and again, like we're making Yu-Gi-Oh seem so comical, but it's really not comical. It's just the way that they provide the information to us. It
it,
really
it,
comes off as like shenanigans. Like
it, it,
it's battles between each other because there's a lot of bipolar things that happen on this series. Like,
everybody is so straight faced throughout everything. That's what makes it kind of like hilarious to me is that they're
yeah,
so it's so straight faced, so serious, but you know that there's no way this could be normal. And they just
yeah,
did. They just go with it. They're like, okay,
they
whatever.
just go with it. Like Yami Yugi and regular Yugi are having a conversation and to figure out if they should really send both of them to the Shadow Realm. They're using Ragnarok right now, which
Right? First off, whoever came up with this idea for this card,
take every monster out of your deck.
a full kamikaze attack, like what the hell?
It's like Obelisk, Slifer, everything else that's died in Yugi's deck or in Yugi's deck already, and Dark Magician and
Dark
Dark
Magician
Magician
Girl.
Girl form this ultimate attack to attack Marik as he's fused to Winged Dragon and Raw.
Mary's like, what's up?
Kaiba
What's
is not amused at all by any of this shit. And then like, and then they just show like, dude, Obelisk puts Raw in a full Nelson.
Yeah, he does. He truly
And Slifer's got his body wrapped around Raw. And
too
then of course we see Karibo.
too mouthed up in front of my enemy. What's good? I'm about to blow all types of fire at you. And
It's an insane like concept the way that they really form this. And I think, don't get me wrong, although this part really doesn't seem logical, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh in itself, it was really cool.
yes, it was.
Because at this point it's season 3. It's Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, who I think Dark Magician Girl kind of took over for me, like as far as like some of my favorite cards in Yugi's deck at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Um,
that's yeah. This was that peak. This was that time when she got her shine.
she got her
And
shine. She got her shine, and it was due. So Yugi literally hits Yami Marik with this attack, and it destroyed Winged Dragon of Raw. And this is when the duel gets kind of weird because they're talking so much about how it was supposed to destroy Marik's dark side, but Marik still has what, 1 life point left because he
yeah,
used all his life points to put into Winged Dragon of Raw to make it all powerful. Basically, this whole time they're trying to avoid sending regular Marik to the Shadow Realm, and he's fine. He's after that attack, Marik's just standing there, and Yugi's like, "Oh, he made it." and listen. Every part of this fight, all 5 parts mention they build up this like mirage and this like fear of sending Marik to the Shadow Realm and not Yami Marik. It's like that's a fear of theirs. Like, damn, I don't wanna send
man, I don't
the
want to send
Marik
this.
that we don't want to send Marik there. We want to send Yami Marik there.
Yeah,
And that quick, he made it. He's okay. It's like the stakes are just so weird in this. And the story goes, Yami Marik, his dark side was formed because of his resentment for Yami Yugi. He didn't want to do all of his bidding, basically.
yeah,
It was his duty to basically help the pharaoh, and he was like, man, he was hating. He was a hater. He was a hater. And because he was
Hey,
a hater, he formed this dark side, which is the evil Merrick that we know and that we see and that
The
I
synth
personally
god.
love. Yeah, but like he's a really evil person. And so I guess Merrick had decided, hey, it's my destiny to basically like let Yugi beat me
Yeah.
in a duel.
all of humanity's life was on the line just for
Mhm.
this man to just
Yeah,
to give just to
yeah,
give up in this game, man. Like
absolutely. The funniest thing about it all is how dramatic the surrendering was.
like
I
evil
surrendered the
Mary.
duel. Putting the hand over the duel disc is like, I can't believe he just quit.
Like nobody has ever surrendered, so they're just like, oh god, oh god, wait, he's surrendering. What's
and
going on?
and I'm gonna tell you guys the real reason Eric and I wanted to do a live watch of this final episode was because of how anticlimactic it was.
Yes.
I actually think leading up to this final point, as much as I wanted to talk about this because it's Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think it's important for our culture and when we came up how important this show was,
Yeah.
but it was so anticlimactic. The ending, first of all, he surrendered, which is fair. After he took back over, I don't mind the fact that
Yeah.
Merrick surrendered. The one life point that has been dangling around for 2 episodes that goes to 0, and
Instantly.
that's really it.
And
And as much of a showdown as it is, because Merrick was all evil, or Yami Merrick was all evil, and just he wanted to take over the world. um, which Eric, you mentioned that too to me
I
earlier.
still don't understand. What was the full plan? What was the full plan of this,
I'm
my
not sure
G?
if I'm not sure if he had a full plan to really
Yo,
go about this the right way. Like,
this just shows you the level. Yo, this shows you the level of what hate can do to to an individual, bro. Like,
absolutely, absolutely. Like, it really was
because
no plan. Like, he just wanted to defeat the pharaoh, obtain all 3 Egyptian god cards, and tell somebody to read his tats off his back, and
yeah,
then
all,
figure out what's next. Like,
yeah, evil, Egyptian pharaoh's soul has been inside me, so I automatically know how to know how to
absolutely.
speak hieroglyphics on your back, bro.
Yeah, and one of the reasons me and Eric wanted to do this is because we had a conversation about this particular showdown, and I know that there were other Yu-Gi-Oh duels that him and I spoke about, and we wanted to really throw a wrench because I really don't care for this duel.
Yes. Yo, like this was supposed to be the one. This was supposed
It
to
was
be
supposed to be the one, and it was just the ending of it was just so like the best part of it was Kaiba's dialogue at the end, which
yo.
we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about, but like I don't want to quite do it yet, but we're gonna talk about. But it just it's strange to me, the back and forth, right?
Yeah.
In the episodes, the dialogue is some of the best stuff that Yu-Gi-Oh has to offer, but the actual duel is lazy. It's lazy. It's a lot of um, Monster Reborn, bring my Winged
Yeah.
Dragon of Raw back. This card doesn't affect my Egyptian God card, but this magic card does.
Does
I'm gonna
yeah.
activate this magic card on your
It
turn.
was a complete counter battle. It was a
Yeah,
counter battle.
yeah, but also the rules were bent.
That
The rules were bent.
if
Like,
that's the understatement of this entire
and
entire
I will say this though, they do get away with it because it's a shadow game, and I think they do try to emphasize the fact that hey, this is a shadow game, and things aren't always going to happen the way that you want. And by saying that is what regular Yugi and regular Merrick were getting smacked. Like they felt the life points in their life force as they got hit, as their life points got hit, they got hit physically and felt it.
yeah.
Um, and uh, although this is an important showdown for Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole, I just thought it was just an anticlimactic ending to it. It didn't make a lot of sense. I I wanted to talk about it because we get so excited about uh the things that we have lined up for this show. we have a lot of things that we wanted to talk about on this show that me and Eric consider like we get we get horny for. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like the things that we talked about previously to this episode, and we really wanted to just throw a wrench at this. And I love Yugi. I'm not here to trash it, but this
No.
fight was just so underwhelming. It was such an underwhelming duel. There was a lot of things that just didn't make sense, and we wanted to just talk about that. And
Yeah,
and there
man.
were there were other there were better there were better duels, 1,000%. But this shit is all over the place, man. Like
Yeah.
watching this episode, like it's a strange journey to even get to part 5.
It is.
I watching it over, like I barely remember that a lot of this shit happened. Like I said earlier, there's no way as a child, like, I remember this.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm not gonna yeah, how am I supposed to remember that now all this is going down and my soul is also in the shadow realm from Joey's last fight too? Like who's gonna remember that shit? Like how's an
Bro,
8-year-old gonna remember that, man? Like that's insane.
absolutely, absolutely, and I kinda mentioned it earlier, but one of the best pieces, uh, of this episode one of the best pieces of this episode is, first of all, it happens a little earlier when Kaiba gives Yugi the card. He just kind of throws it. You know how Yu-Gi-Oh cards are on the anime. They're like stiff. They don't bend. You can tear them because we've seen
Man,
Kaiba do it. But
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Hisoka isn't in this series, yo. Cause them shits be cutting, dog, for
they be
real.
cutting. They be cutting. And Merrick ends up giving Yugi Wing Dragon of Raw. Takes off his shirt because Yugi's like, "What do I do with all three of these? I don't know what I'm doing with all three of these cards." And
Yeah.
Merrick's like, "Read my back." He like takes his shirt off. He's got tats. He's tatted the fuck up. He's like, "Here you are." And Yugi's like, "I know damn well you can't read this, but he's not gonna be rude.
Yo, not yo. His
He's not gonna be
grandfather
rude
taught him
about
too
it."
well.
He's like,
Yeah, yeah.
"No, that's right." It's like Merrick's
Like
just
I
standing
said,
there with his shirt off, like.
yeah, like I'm just a little Japanese kid who just happens to know hieroglyphics. Okay, like you expect me to know that? No, I don't. No.
Yeah, exactly. And after this showdown, is where it really turns up. I wish we could have just did a whole episode on this set of Kaiba dialogue. So after the Millennium item is given to Yugi, the Winged Dragon of Ra is given to Yugi, the tattoos were shown to Yugi. Kaiba had enough. And this is exactly how I want to end this episode. Kaiba goes, "All right, you geeks. This celebration, this celebration has gone long enough. The Battle City tournament is over. So if you like a free ride home, I suggest you board my aircraft right now."
Oh my God.
Yugi smiling real quick. "Anybody who's left behind on this island, the Kaiba Corporation will not be responsible for your safety.
Holy
This
shit!
island will explode in 1 hour."
What? Wait!
Like, this is a bigger moment than the actual end of the duel, bro. And like, dog, like, I don't understand. Like, Kaiba is so fucking funny, dog. Like, he's literally a
Kaiba,
Power Ranger. Like, he's
yo,
literally a Power Ranger, bro. Like, he has jujitsu skill set. He's a billionaire, and he's a
out here
master duelist.
doing
This,
full on jujitsu. Not to mention, he's still in high school. This is all. He's still a high
bro,
schooler.
bro, like, this man had a tournament, and the whole time he knew when it was over, he was gonna blow all this shit up. How much money did he make off this tournament?
Yo.
He's just wasting money.
Yo. He had yo. It's like that. It's like revenge porn, but instead it's him with his money. Like
Yeah, bro.
he
What
does
are you
he don't
doing?
care.
He doesn't care. He
He
doesn't
doesn't
care.
care, bro.
He doesn't care, man. And again, it's It's just one of those things where I wish it was a little more straightforward, especially when it comes to the Egyptian god cards, man. I mean, they're so cool, and
They are.
they kinda twisted them here a little bit, although Obelisk looks great. And, Obelisk, he's not my favorite personally, but, like, they make
Yeah.
him look very,
Nah,
very strong, especially
Obelisk.
the infinite power that, Yugi gets from him in this set,
Yo, I wish that like when I that move alone made me want to get that damn card, and I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I need him on my deck. I need him
absolutely,
on my deck.
absolutely, man, and, Merrick is an interesting character. He is one of my favorite characters just off these sets of episodes, but, my honest opinion on this showdown is, like, the duel is not really it's just not worth tinkering and going
Yeah,
through, like, the many pieces that it's equipped with because a lot of it is shenanigans.
like
A
if
lot of
you're it if you were to know to know the game by heart, like the actual game,
Mhm,
like I know, like we know for sure now, like most of these cards are banned now too. But
for sure.
even when they were legal, this was just like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's still it's not I mean, there's a few strategies that really did exist within, this fight, but it it's
it
so
still
many
wouldn't have worked.
shenanigans, it would
Yeah,
not have
yeah.
worked, and, we saw magic cards activated on opponents'
On the
turns that
whim,
I
yeah.
didn't think was even possible. And it's just a lot of crazy things that happen on this showdown. And again, I do think it's important to the overall basis of Yu-Gi-Oh and what it meant to our culture. But I I think they wet the bed here, and I wanted to talk about a showdown that just
As I say that, yeah,
wasn't
it
as mind
wasn't.
blowing to you and I.
Yeah,
We talk a lot about the things that we really like and things that we really love, and that's exciting. And again, I love Yu-Gi-Oh. I still have my cards. I know you still have your
same.
cards. Um, but this was just,
Yeah, it was a boom, 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 boom.
if
It's
if
just,
I if I would go back and say, hey, Eric, do you really want to talk about Merrick versus Yugi Battle City Final? I probably would still do it, but I definitely I definitely would have watched it sooner.
yeah,
And been like, "Yo, watching this again as an adult, this is not it." Like,
nah.
for real.
But you know, on a side note, to bring it back to Kaiba, because it just made me think about Kaiba.
Mhm.
Like, Yugi messed this man up mentally.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
truly, he couldn't even be friends with the guy no more after
oh
the
man,
Exodia shit from, like, episode
yo,
1. From, like, episode 1. So, yeah, Kaiba he was never the same. I mean,
never the
he has
same,
everything
man.
you could possibly desire, and he was just never the
Yo,
same. So,
like I think there was an episode on here where like some chick, like what some fan or some girl was actually like out here like calling him out and like trying to get with him. He's just like, I got no time for you, Yugi. I need to beat Yugi. I need like,
yeah, bro, he don't care about none of that, man. But
oh
shout out
man,
Kaiba. Kaiba is he's hilarious. He's hilarious.
yes,
Merrick's really my guy, but Cyrus says something really funny too. When we did our episode with Mills, like, what did Kaiba really do from, like, a duelist standpoint the entire series? And he
yo,
really didn't do much. He lost a
yo,
lot.
all he did was like, yo, I'm Richie Rich. I
That's
got
it.
all the shit.
He he
I
he
got it all,
lost.
bro.
He lost and provided places to duel. So
Yes,
that
yes,
was
that's
really
it.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, shout out Kaiba, Merrick, rest in peace. Well, Yami Marik, Dark Marik, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Real Merrick lives. Shout out Yugi and Yami Yugi. Infinite part of history, in my opinion. But this showdown is just not it. You know, and
Nah.
I really want to know y'all's opinion if you want to rewatch this. It's a 5-parter, like I said, so each episode is about 24 minutes. Let me know if you feel the same way about this, because me and Eric were shocked to rewatch this over and be like, man, this is not great.
No, man, it's
Shoot,
subpar, sir,
a
subpar.
subpar showdown. It needed to be talked about though, because I feel like nobody does talk about it like that. It was just it was really cool because they, the God cards overpower the entire situation, and so it skims over how bad it really was though.
Yeah.
But
To be honest, real quick on that fight on one of the parts, it really was just a rendition of old fights, but all put together with God cards, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they tied it in with shenanigans.
let's do the anime rule. Let's throw in
Yeah,
the anime rule.
I would like to revisit this from a manga standpoint. I'm curious.
I'm curious also.
I'm sure it's much better. I'm a link with the Big Eyes podcast. I see what's up with that. I'm curious how the manga one plays out. But this has been episode 5 of Showdown. It's been a hell of a run so far. We really appreciate you guys tapping in with us and being there with us. Especially, we've been talking about a bunch of things that we really like, and this just happened to be one that kind of turned us off a little bit. But I'll tell you one thing though. Episode 6, Cowboy Bebop, Vicious versus Spike. Trust me, there's no disappointment.
It's time.
Yeah,
oh my god.
This Yu-Gi-Oh! Marik shit, we got over the hump. But yeah, we appreciate Yu-Gi-Oh! We don't want you guys to get twisted. We do.
No, we appreciate it.
Man, I was very disappointed in the showdown, but these things happen. Man. These things.
Hey, look, man. Sometimes you gotta take an L to get to get a win. Sometimes.
That's it. Hey, Eric, you got a special shout out before we get out of here.
Yo, like I said on episode 2, this year's been crazy, and sadly, again, a lot of my family have been affected throughout this year, and sadly today I lost another family member of mine, and I want to give a shout out to her. May she rest in peace, my Aunt Joan. But shout out to her because she was the reason why I was able to get the Joey pack when I was a kid.
Got that red eyes?
Yo, got the red eyes off deck. All because
Auntie, man.
All because we went to CVS and she had no idea what was going on. And she just said, I said, Auntie, can you give this to me? She said, Oh, sure, nephew. And grabbed it to me. My mom comes home. She's like, what the hell is this? I said, revenge. And I won. But rest in peace, Aunt Joan. Love you. And may the heavens bless you up there. So that's all I'm going to say today.
All right, guys. We really appreciate you guys showing up. Show up for Showdown. This has been episode 5. Episode 6. We'll see you guys next week. Vicious versus. Hey, don't get the OVO shit started. Episode 6, man. Vicious versus Spike, man. It's gonna be amazing.
Indeed.
Make sure you guys lock in with us. Lock in all things RNC Radio. The Lookout. Peace.